other platforms. So I seem to have this knack for choosing yarns that are like no longer, um, available to get. Then I had to go back and update my patterns and find different
Yeah.
stuff. But this was like, th- this was, oh my goodness. Okay. They're going to start giving us revenue for shorts now. Yeah. Nice. On
Nice.
YouTube. Um, how's your man blanket coming along?
Oh, it is beautiful.
I saw something. I really liked how it was coming along. How far did you get?
Let's see. I'm on. Oh, I'll just show you. I don't know. I'm about to count out the rows, but you know, just a little bit. Right below.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Nice. It's
looks
looking
really
good.
good.
So
Uh,
are you feeling challenged by it, or how's it feeling? Is it feeling good?
yeah, it feels real good. I think what happened when I was swatching it with you, I think I was just having so much fun talking to you, trying to read the pattern at the same time
Yeah.
and everything. I just wasn't paying attention, but now I think I got it down packed, so it's not challenging. Um, but it's really fun. I will say that. Like I think it's just like being able to mix it up and stuff like that and not do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna show you. There's this blanket that I was making my son,
Oh, that's pretty.
but
That is that hugs and kisses.
no, this is like yarn bee yarn. Uh, so it's just like a variety of other different yarn. Impeccable,
Mm-hmm.
1 pound, but yeah, I think I'm gonna redo it in the 6 day man blanket because it's not done. It's halfway done, but I'm still contemplating whether or not I want to redo it though, because I spent so much time on it.
Yeah.
But it's been 3 years. I started that when I knew I was having a boy, and now it's like I should probably get it done. But
Wow.
I don't like doing it. It's like so boring. So I think I'm gonna undo it and do it in the 6 day man blanket.
Well, it once you do a 6 day blanket, it's like
That's all I want to
it
do.
spoils you for
Yeah.
other things. Like my sister, whom you met the other day, she's had this ripple afghan that she's also been working on for a few years, and then she started making my patterns. She made like 3 tree skirts, and now she's like, okay, now I have to finish this ripple, and she's like, oh man, this is like so boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the 6 day kid blanket keeps you interested because it has just enough variety to be interesting, but it's also simple enough that you can memorize it and you don't have to
Yeah.
like look at the pattern all the time.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do that, but it's taking some time for me to finally frog it because I'm just like, I spent so much time on it, but I think it's gonna be worth it in the end because I think it's just taking up. First of all, I think it's taking up way too much yarn because it's all half double crochet. I think it's taking up way too much yarn and too much time. So
Mm. Okay. Well, all right. So I'm going to start working on my blanket, and I haven't done
yeah.
anything since I saw you last. So I thought I'd give you a chance to kind of catch up and get ahead of
Oh
me, give you
yeah.
a little bit of a head start.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab my yarn. Oh my god, I have so many whips in this room. Ugh, room of yarn.
All right.
Boy, it's like quiet on YouTube. And am I in Facebook? If y'all are watching on Facebook and stuff, say hi. Connie, thank you for the rose. Just noticed people are kind of quiet at this time of day. I heard a comment. Where's that comment window? Hi, Amanda. All right. Up we go. We're going to overhead view. And then I got to plug in. Let's see.
Judith Roman asks, how many balls of yarn is needed? Well, how many balls of yarn did you use for your first blanket?
That's a good question. I mean, the yardage on the pattern is 4,250. But hi Pat, if you are hi Irene, if you can make the 6-day kid blanket in all different weights of yarn. So, and it really depends on what weight you're using and what size you want to make. The Man Blanket's huge. So if you want a baby blanket with 3 weight, it's going to be different. And sadly, I don't have all those numbers memorized. Someday I'm going to make that a project, just like memorize all the yardages, because it's the most frequently asked question, is how much yarn do you need,
Yeah. For this one, excuse me.
Go ahead.
For this one, I'm anticipating, like, in the green color, I think I'll probably use because this is almost 1 right here, so I'm thinking I might need like 4.
Okay.
This is a 5 bulky yarn, so I'm thinking 4, and then probably the gray, like I think the ball that I have, since it's just the double crochets. Judith, I hope that answers your question. For a medium yarn,
it depends on what size you want to make, yeah. And the best thing to do would be to go over to my website, bettymcknit.com, and check out the 6-day kid blanket pattern, and there's a chart at the bottom, and it gives you multiple sizes from baby blanket up through like queen size, full size blanket, and it gives you like 4 or 5 different weights of yarn, and it gives all the yardages there. Okay, how many do I have to chain? Do you remember? Anybody remember?
It's like 180. No, 190 plus 2, right?
Are you doing math in your head? Wow.
No, it's because I read the pattern over.
190. It's 190.
190.
Yeah, and I went and found some stitch markers so that I could have those to help me count, because I know that I'm going to be talking and therefore probably going to lose count more than once. So all right, I think I'm all set up. I'm going to put a stitch marker every 25.
So, Betty, do you have any pets?
Unfortunately, all my dragons are gone. I had 3 dogs that I called my dragons.
Oh, I was like, dragons?
Yeah. Wow, she has dragons. She's even cooler than I thought.
Or I thought you were going to say, like, Komodo dragons?
No.
Like that. Like,
no.
Wow.
I had these 3 dogs, and I called them my dragons, and they got me through my divorce, and then they one by one started getting sick, and one of them, Mochi, had heart issues and was on like 5 different types of medication for most of his life. So he succumbed to that, And then about a year or so later, the other Japanese chin I had was Mochi and Jake, two Japanese chins. He had heart murmur problems and he got sick and died. And then out of nowhere, my dog Mudkip just up and died on me one day.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was awful. He's the one on the pattern, on the original 6-Day Kid blanket pattern. That was Mudkip.
I my stepdad, when his dog, we had to put his dog down. Oh my goodness. I was like, I don't ever want to pet ever again. This is too hard.
Yeah, it was really hard. It was harder. It was easier to put them down than it was to just have one all of a sudden just have like a heart attack or something and die. What about you? Do you have pets right now?
No, we did have a German Shepherd, but when my son was born, we had to rehome him. It was just too much like going on.
Yeah.
He has so much energy, and um, I after having my son, I just couldn't handle it because I was the only one at home. My husband works like almost every day and night. So I just was like, I'm sorry, I really can't. I can't take care of the baby myself. And after you give birth, like the first 2 weeks, you can't. I have stairs, 3 sets of stairs in my house, so I can't go up and down the stairs. So it was really hard. So we had to rehome him. But we rehomed him to my husband's uncle. So we go to see him like almost all the time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
on a happier note, got kind of dark there.
1, 2, 3, 4. I will never feel bad when I think about my dogs. I actually have this little bracelet with Mudkip's name on it, and I just wear it to remember like that feeling of unconditional love.
Mhm.
I think dogs really know how to love.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But when I moved down here, um, I think that was it was a big asset not having any pets and being able to get a place because it's really hard to find a place to rent where I live and anywhere. So I think it just helped me not to have any animals. Okay. Hey, Miss Ritzy, we are making the 6-Day Man Blanket. I'm already too hot in these sleeves. I knew they would look cute. I was like, I'm gonna wear these sleeves because everyone always loves them, but I just can't. It's too much. It's too hot. I should turn the heat down a little bit. I turned it up to 70. It's a little much. Some rooms are warmer than others in the house too. You know how that is.
Yes. Oh my goodness. My bedroom is like so hot, but down in my office that I'm in now, it is like so cold. I have to have a space heater in here because it's like closer to the outside. So it's like I'd be freezing in here, and then but it's a smaller room, so it doesn't take that much to like get warm and stuff.
Hey, Andrew. How you doing?
So I had bought this webcam off of Amazon. And it's a very nice webcam. However, it keeps focusing and refocusing, and it's so annoying.
Is that the one I noticed that when you were in the meeting the other day?
Oh, that was my iPad.
Okay.
My iPad then. I don't know if I could turn that off because sometimes it's kind of making me nauseous. Like if I look at it for too long. But this one is specifically for when I go live and stuff like that. It's just like it keeps refocusing. So I think I might. Somebody said like, oh, it might be your lights, but even in like when it's daylight outside, it's still focusing and refocusing. So I think I might just have to invest in a better one. Like the picture is nice, but like every time I move, it's focusing. So
I wonder if there's an autofocus feature that you can turn off, because I have that problem with my DSLR. I have to turn the autofocus off. Otherwise, it's just going in and out all the time. And, every time you move, it's like what you're saying, it refocuses. So, I have a DSLR that I use for, YouTube, but I just use my phone for TikTok. But yeah, those cameras are making videos is hard. Making overhead videos is hard. Like everybody who complains on my YouTube, I don't know why it just seems like YouTube is the place where people go to like criticize. People seem to like to criticize over there. And every time somebody's like, "This is terrible," blah blah blah, I'm like, "You try it. I want to see you do it. I want to see how your video would be, because this is really hard. They hurt my feelings."
Oh man, but yeah, it's just it is hard. And then like you're trying to find it. My thing is, I want it to be as easy as possible, but to look as good as possible.
Well, yeah, of course.
So, like I'm over filming on a camera and trying to edit it and put it and upload it, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm so over that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna webcam my videos and edit it. I think, can't you edit it in like YouTube Studio or something?
Yes, you can. You can edit it right in YouTube.
Yeah. So.
And I just hired my daughter actually to fix up mine, because I have videos in there that are just like, tutorial, but it's just like this, like me talking and working on something. And it's not edited, and people want, like they want to be able to make the thing right from your video. I don't think I'll ever be at that level, but yeah, you can edit right in YouTube.
Yeah, so that I think that's what I probably want to do, is just edit in YouTube, because I'm so tired of having to upload stuff and then import stuff and then edit. It's just not. I'm over it.
It's very time consuming.
So I literally just want to turn on my computer, turn on my camera, talk, and then turn it off.
Yep. I want it to be magic. Somebody's asking me a question. I do 25 between stitch markers. So I just had 200, but I only needed 190. So I just pulled 10 of them out. So here I go. Now I'm going to single crochet across this row. I learned that this is a K hook and not a J hook. I think the pattern even says J. I'm going to have to change it, because I found out that this is not a J hook, it's a K hook. And the yarn is Vanna's Choice. It's the 6-day Man Blanket, and you can find the pattern for free on my website, or you can purchase an ad-free PDF copy from my pattern store. No, I am not. Am I flipped? I already flipped it. Wait a minute.
You're flipped on.
Yeah, how am I thought I flipped it. Let me flip it back. Why won't it go? All right, there we go. That's so weird. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. I am going to leave the stitch markers in until I'm certain that I have the right number, and then I'll take them out. I had to go hunting, stitch marker hunting, before this live. Oh, hey, Amy. I just saw my sister's here. She's on YouTube.
Oh my gosh. When I saw your sister on the live stream, I was like, is that her twin sister? Y'all look so much alike. I was really taken aback. I said, that look just like Betty.
We're 3 years apart, actually, and everyone thought we were twins growing up.
If it wasn't for the fact that you had the yarn behind you, I would have been, I was like, oh, hold up.
Wow.
Speaking of yarn, we gotta go shopping.
I was thinking about you because I need to start going up the road a little bit more often, because it's very quiet down here this time of year where I live. So I need to get out a little bit more and people a little bit more, because I could just do the pajamas 24/7, 365, and not shower and all that good stuff.
Oh no, not showering.
I mean, pandemic quarantine was like, yeehaw for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I was very, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually very happy with it. I was like, oh man, that sucks.
Amy, Andrew is saying hi to you over on TikTok.
Oh, hello. But yeah, so I need to get more yarn for my shawl that I'm making.
What shawl are you making?
Oh, it's that really colorful one that I did the...
Did I comment on that? Did you make a TikTok?
I think you did. It was the one that's made out of like Lion Brand hometown yarn. It's like teal, purple, all the different colors.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the jewel tones. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to get more teal, and then I'm trying to. I think for the border, I might do like the bobble tassel kind of look.
Okay.
I forgot exactly what it's called.
Yeah, what is that? What are you talking about?
Let me see if I can look it up on my phone. I don't have the blanket that I did it on, but I did it on another blanket, and it didn't come out quite as white as my first time doing it.
Why am I having why is YouTube so ridiculous?
What's going on?
Oh, you get these weird bots that show up.
Oh, I don't. I'm not at your level yet, so I don't. I don't get bots yet.
All right, that is everybody. Go over. I'm gonna tag her in my chat. Go on over to Leia the Human's channel so she can have bots.
No.
Subscribe to her. Go subscribe to her channel so she can get bots too.
Okay, yeah, this is what it looks like.
Hi, Kristen. I'm glad you're here too.
It's called a bobble border. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay, let me make this big so I can see what you're talking about. Show it again. Oh, wow. That's pretty.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of doing that type of border for the shawl. And so yeah, I gotta get more yarn. It was supposed to be a scrap type of project, but I was like, now I need to, like, I didn't have enough teal to finish the other side. And I still need a border, so I have to get more yarn.
Well, sometimes with a good scrap project, you do have to fill in here and there.
Yeah.
If you don't have quite enough, but yeah, at least the yarn is still available.
Yes. Yes.
And where do did you get that locally? Where did you go for that?
I think I went to Walmart.
Oh, Walmart. Wow.
Yeah, but I think it was like it was one of those situations where I'm pretty sure somebody was hiding it.
Oh.
Cause I
Wow.
found it like underneath the flowers. Like it was in a
Oh.
big box of hometown yarn
Oh,
and like
wow.
a box display, but it was hidden underneath the flowers
Okay.
display thingy. So I was like,
Oh.
oh, I'm gonna take it.
Wow. They thought they were too quick for you, but they were not. How many times have you hidden yarn or hidden something in the store that you didn't want anyone to take? I mean, I've done it a bunch, but.
Let's see. Well, when I used to work in retail, I did that a lot because I would hide it where I knew for a fact no one else would come for it. Like if I didn't get paid until like later on, I'm like,
Yep.
all right, I'm gonna hide it.
Yep. We weren't supposed to do that at Michael's, but I was the support specialist. So I had that little room where I counted the money, the cash room. Was like, I had access to that. So I would just put it in there if I wanted it until I was ready to, I mean, whatever, until payday or whatever. I mean, we weren't supposed to, but I did it. And sometimes we had this one employee who would go around the store, like recovering the store. Do you call it that? Recover? Yeah, they would go around recovering the store, and they would always have like these shopping carts full of like merchandise in them that they would, they were recovering and then they got called away or distracted. And then they would just end up taking this shopping cart full of stuff and just like sticking it in the back room. And they would like end up with like lots of shopping carts around the store.
Oh my
Shopping carts full of stuff. And so they got in trouble for having too many carts. So then what they would do is they would take the merchandise from the carts or like trash or just a bunch of stuff, and they would put it in a repack box and just like put it on top of one of the shelves. So like even a couple years after that person left, we were still finding like boxes of trash
in, oh my goodness.
in like up on like repacks with just like a bunch of random crap in them, up on tops of shelves. And sometimes, and she was a crocheter too, so sometimes we would find yarn. Like she was hiding it and she wanted it and she hid it.
I would never forget about yarn.
I know. Like exactly. It would be like discontinued stuff we hadn't had for like a year.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
What is one yarn that is discontinued that you wish you could still buy?
Well, I love the Karen tea cakes. I love that yarn, and I know they do have a few still at the store, but they used to be $9.99 and now they're $12.99. It's ridiculous price, but they don't have all the colors that I like. I'm getting ready to man, I wanted to do this on Wednesday, but I don't know if I'm going to do it now because I didn't do all the like advertising and everything that I wanted to do, but I still might do it. We had this lady in the 6-day kid blanket group who she had the tea cakes in her cart when they first came out, and they were like in just she had one of every color, and the way they were sitting in her cart, they were like looked like a rainbow.
Oh wow.
In the order, so she made a 6-day kid blanket out of them. And it's like the most beautiful 6-day kid blanket there ever could be. and it takes like 8 of these tea cakes in all the different colors. Um, and I've made a couple of them that when they re-released them a couple years ago, I, analyzed all the new colors that they had and figured out how to make the rainbow order. So, and I still have yet to like write that down, like write it up as like a blog article or something. But I think with those tea cakes that I could make a 60 kit blanket in one day.
Yeah.
I think I could get through it in one day. And they're really similar to the in weight to the anniversary cakes, so I might try and do the anniversary cakes too. But yeah, I was thinking on Wednesday I was just gonna start at like 10 o'clock and see if I could just make one of those blankets. Go through 8 tea cakes in one day. But that is the yarn that I really like, and I have a bunch of it hoarded that I'll probably never use, and because I love it so much. And honestly, if I did, like, if they had that, I would probably buy some every time I went to Michael's. I still
Yeah.
do. I go and buy a little bit of it every time, even though I definitely do not need it. Um, but yeah, that's the yarn that I really like. Um,
I
I,
don't know what it is about buying yarn and not needing it, but it's just like it's like literally my toxic trait is just buying yarn that I probably will never use.
I'm really not that bad. Like I don't have like a huge stash, but I look around and I'm like I have yarn everywhere in my house. I have a whole room of yarn that I'm sitting in, and then I have another room that like the closets are, full of my stash, and then I have projects sitting around everywhere, and I still like wake up sometimes and I think I'm gonna drive up to Norfolk and go get some yarn. Like I don't even know what for.
Yeah,
Love
that's
yarn.
how I feel sometimes. I don't know what it was, but it was like at one point I was just buying yarn and like I would black out and come home. I'm just like, whoa. I have like 3 bags of yarn. I'm just like, what did I do? My husband would be like, what did you buy? I, said, I don't even know, but it's here and this is its new home. So,
Nice.
but one yarn. Let's see, one yarn that's discontinued. Um,
Debbie says because we love yarn. I love yarn.
I don't know what it is. I really don't. I think the Caron skinny cake in it's like Great Ganache or something.
Hmm.
They like just discontinued it
Oh man.
over the summer, and I bought the last 2-in-1 Michaels, and at every Michael in this area I looked to find it, and it was all gone. I was very sad,
Bummer.
but uh, another yarn that they're discontinuing is the Lion Brand Comfy Cotton.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when that's gone, it's gone. I think they took it out of stores already, but there's some available online. And then they had the loops and thread merino something. Merino.
Hmm.
It's like a 3-weight merino wool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Dude said it's so hard to get away from the temptation not to buy more yarn to knit. Just looking at them when they come out new in the market, what is already was already imagining what I can do with it. Yes. Oh my goodness. It's just so hard. I'm like, oh, I can do this and this and this and this.
Yeah, I think that's what happens for me is I just see it there and I'm like, I just imagine myself working it up, and I'm imagining the project that I'm making, not often imagining like the finished thing. I'm just imagining working on it. Let's see. OG Banana 2 says, "Do you have any suggestions for some mini projects?" I like doing hats for mini projects. That would be my go-to for like you know a mini project. And this is such a great question because a lot of us talk about having multiple works in progress going all the time, but I think it's really a good idea to have several mini projects, and keep one in the car or keep the, like have smaller projects to do when, especially when you're working on a large project. So in case you get bored, you can kind of switch off. But I do, let me see, what do I have several patterns that I would say are quick makes. I have a little bandana scarf called Optimism that I designed during the pandemic. um, I would call that a mini project, and I have a couple of different hats in my library. What about you, Leia? Any suggestions or?
Uh, well, when I think of mini projects, I think of like bookmarks, like that type of mini project.
Uh-huh.
But a project that, or just a project that you can put in a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I have my travel project, which is my Bible book cover that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tunisian crochet, and it's not a small project, but it's a project that I can take everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like a mini project for me would be like, what is something that I made? Yeah, like scarves or a hat. Uh,
Or maybe like a coaster.
yeah, coasters. Or like what are they called? Like key fobs, like the crocheted key, like I wasn't wristlet. That's what it's called.
It's a good idea. A Monroe too. This is only the second time I actually started a blanket on Alive, because this is like, this is the row you really have to count and concentrate.
Yeah.
And I did it one other time and I didn't screw it up that time, so we'll see how I do this time. I didn't use stitch markers the other time either, I don't think.
Judith said cup cozy. That's a good idea. Those have been really popular lately. Like especially ones specifically made for like Starbucks cups.
Okay. People like those.
Yeah. What else? Fingerless gloves. I've seen those. What else?
Debbie says, "Do I have the right hook this time?" Well, yes, but I didn't know. I didn't know because they both said J. But this one's actually K. So yes, I'm doing with the correct hook.
What's crazy is like, you did a whole project with that one hook, and then when you started with like a different one, like, wait a second.
Yeah, I could tell right away. I was gaslit. It was crochet gaslighting. I knew that didn't feel right. I could tell the whole time. Like, this is like tight. It doesn't feel the same. Yeah. I probably need to go back and fix that in like 3 or 4 different patterns because I've used this hook a lot. I think I used it for the hexagon cardigan too. I think the hex cardie says J. What a mess.
Yeah, I was telling my husband that he did understand. He did find it funny.
He's probably like, I guess you had to be there.
Yeah.
And then she peeled the sticker off the crochet hook, and it said K underneath. Could you imagine?
It's like, oh, interesting. Okay.
Well, we should plan to get together. Maybe we should have like a little local meetup. We could get together, do a little yarn shopping, and do our live together from the same place.
Yes. Yes, you just let me know whenever.
Well, you're the one with the baby, so I feel like the baby is in charge.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see. My mother-in-law, she can watch him like on Fridays. She plays bingo on Sundays, so I can't take that away from
Okay.
her. She will absolutely not budge her plans when it comes to bingo.
I can't blame her. That could be.
That is her favorite, so I was like, okay.
I like that I have people that really watch me closely on YouTube, and Fran is saying, "Did you miss a cluster at that last peak?" I don't think I did, but thank you, Fran. I mean Della, sorry. Yeah, a Friday would be good. Let's plan something. Cool. Yeah. And we can I know on the last live there was somebody else that was like, "Hey, I'm in Norfolk."
Yeah, so I'm all for it.
No, I don't think I missed anything, you guys, but thanks for watching. Thanks for following so closely. This seemed kind of packed in. I don't know why. This keeps making me refresh. I think my internet is just a little unstable today. I don't know. I think it was like, I don't know, 2 nights ago, maybe 3. In the middle of the night, I was woken up by thunder.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear that storm?
No.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it sounded like it just rolled in off the ocean. And, oh, she's right, actually. I did miss one. All the way back here. Look at that. She's insisting I did. I checked it over like 4 times. Wow. Oh my gosh. You guys are good.
Thank you, Judith. Have a great night. She's leaving us.
Okay. Bye. Wow. I'm gonna have to crochet live all the time now, so I don't make, in case I make a mistake, I'll have somebody watching along.
I probably wouldn't have caught it though, to be honest.
I laid it down and looked it over really well, like 2 or 3 times.
I'll be right back. I gotta grab a tissue.
Go ahead. No worries. I just would like to get this row completed tonight by the end of this live. Maybe 2 rows. Maybe I might get all the way through row 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, I'm back.
You know what I really miss, and I mean it used to be in New Jersey, so it's really far away. But when you were talking about the hometown and wanting to shop for the hometown yarn, um, I used to love going to the Lion Brand outlet, and they had that hometown yarn just all in every single color of hometown, all spread out. That's what you're doing that shawl out of, right? You said hometown.
Yeah. Hometown yarn. It's easily like become my favorite chunky yarn, like hands down.
I don't think I've ever used it actually. Amanda says I'm making a 6-day Man blanket in my favorite colors. That's nice. I mailed the original Man blanket away to my former landlord that I made it for. I figured I'm starting another one, so it was safe to let it go.
So, have you ever been to Rhinebeck?
Rhinebeck?
Yeah.
The wool festival?
Yeah.
Yes, I have, but I prefer the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival to Rhinebeck, actually.
Why is that?
I felt like Rhinebeck was really super crowded, and the way that it was laid out was not as appealing to me. And I don't know. I think maybe I just have some loyalty to Maryland Sheep and Wool because I've been there so many times. I just really enjoy it. It's in May, so it's in like the springtime, you know. It's the first full week in May. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm doing a retreat at the Maryland Sheep and Wool in May this year with some of the people in my McKnitiverse. We got an Airbnb, and we're gonna go hang out at the Airbnb. It has an indoor pool.
What?
Yeah, and then we're gonna go to Maryland Sheep and Wool, the festival both days, and then we're gonna hang out at the Airbnb. And apparently we're going to be swimming in our hand crocheted bikinis. I don't know.
Oh, wow, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It should be fun.
That does sound like fun. Well, dang. Well, I'd rather probably go to the because this is my first time, like, thinking about even going to like wool festivals and yard festivals. So I'd rather go to one in Maryland than go all the way to New York.
Oh yeah, you should come. There's still space if you want to come along. Yeah, it's great. I feel like Maryland is more, of course I haven't been there in a few years, but I think it was canceled twice because of the pandemic. And it is very crowded. It's just like a little bit more spread out, I guess. And Rhinebeck just felt like so crowded. And I was there for about 15 minutes, and I was there with somebody, and I took a phone call, and I said, go ahead into this first barn without me. I'm going to take this phone call, and I'll be right here. And I was not on the phone for 15 minutes, but I lost my friend. Like, that's just how many people there were and how crowded it was. Just like so hard to get through the booths. It's become really, really popular. I mean, Maryland gets crowded too. So, but I mean, the shopping is just to die for. You know, it's
Yeah.
just every yarn vendor and yarn related, spinning related, sheep related thing you could ever possibly imagine is there. It's just an overwhelming amount of stuff to shop for. If you have any interest in spinning wool, you can, you know, purchase fleece, full fleeces there at the fleece auction. It's really, really pretty incredible. Just the sheer volume of stuff, that there is to see and shop for is really fun to experience.
Yeah, that sounds like my type of event.
Sounds like your type of fun.
Yes.
The other place I really like to shop for yarn, it's all the way in Northampton, Massachusetts, is
Oh,
Webb's. If you are ever find yourself up that way going towards Boston. Um,
webs. I've heard of that before.
yeah. Hey, Pearly Shell, I was talking about the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival, and Alea brought up Rhinebeck, which is the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, which is in October. Maryland Sheep and Wool is in May. It's always the first full weekend in May. And Rhinebeck is usually like the second or third weekend of October. It's at the setting in Rhinebeck, New York, in the fall. I did it again, Della. Do you see that? I did the same thing. The setting in Rhinebeck is really beautiful. In October, it's like upstate, New York. Um, it's really beautiful that time of year. Like really, really beautiful. The the trees are in full color change, full bloom. I mean, it's just a beautiful part of the world. The Hudson Valley, or is that Hudson Valley or upstate? Um, it's really nice. Maryland Sheep and Wool is kind of right. It's situated right kind of between like Baltimore and Washington, D.C. So you're close enough to both of those places that you could do the Sheep and Wool Festival, and also if you wanted to do sightseeing in Washington D.C. I wouldn't bother with Baltimore. I friggin' hate Baltimore. I hate that city so much. Just
I do too.
my daughter lives there, and every time I have to drive in, I'm like, Baltimore! Oh my gosh! Like, clean it up! I'm,
Yeah.
I like, yeah, I really have like strong feelings about. Pro- Probably wouldn't feel so strong if my daughter didn't live there, But yeah, anyways, DC and Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore does have that beautiful aquarium, and it is very nice. Um, and it has some really artsy places to go. But if you wanted to, my point is, Maryland Sheep and Wool in West Friendship, Maryland, is very close to Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. So if you were from far away and you wanted to sightsee in the our nation's capital, there you would be close enough to do that.
Yeah, cause DC is like a 3 hour drive. So I was like, oh well, if it's not that far, then I was like, okay. I definitely think I would have to stay overnight though, but we'll talk about that off stream.
Okay. Um,
Uh,
yeah, I think it's about 5 or 6 hours for me, but I have to travel for an hour just to get off the island and start headed north. Like I have to go south for half an hour, and then I have to go north for half an hour, and I'm basically at the same, latitude that I was at when I left home. Like I can look across the water and see like where my house is. They're supposed to build another bridge right there, but I don't know if they really ever will because the local people don't want it, and it would infringe on the the land that the wild horses have to live on. So if they build another bridge, but yeah, people want that bridge because it would cut off, like people on this end of the Outer Banks have it would cut like an hour off for me. But anyways, yeah, from where you are, it's Washington DC it's probably like 4 hours for you. I mean, it's totally doable if you wanted to go do it in a day. But since you have a friend that like has an Airbnb already doing a retreat, and you would have friends there to like hang out with and go with, you should just come with me.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, how long is the actual event? Is it like a weekend or?
It's 2 days. I think it's Saturday and Sunday. I think there might be classes and things on Friday.
I trying to go for the.
You want to go for the
classes?
You don't want to be in the sheep to shawl contest. Sometimes they do like spinning classes, and they do this thing called sheep to shawl. And basically they have these teams of, you really want to get like geeky on knitting and crochet and spinning and fiber art. This is what they do. They have these teams of spinners and knitters who they take the sheep, they take the shorn wool from the sheep, and they spin it, and they make a shawl. And like the first person that gets done, I don't know if it's like a race, but you have a limited time to do it, and then it gets judged. It's some kind of competition.
What in the world? All in one day? Or
Yeah. It takes. I think they only have like 24 hours to do it, or something like that. Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, I've never really seen it done, but I used to read about it on the very old, oh my goodness, you were a baby when I was doing this. And I know this because I remember my son as a baby when I was doing this. But the internet was a brand new thing. And one of the things that I used to do on it when I was just discovering the internet was read this thing called the Internet Knit List. And that's where I first learned about Maryland sheep and wool and this sheep to shawl contest, and a lot of different things that I do now. But yeah, it was basically like one of those email listserv. You send an email to this listserv, and then everybody on the list gets the email, kind of message boards. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about because you're so young. No. But that's what we used to do for fun before there was TikTok and, and Facebook. It was basically like this list. And it was, anyone could send an email to this list, and it was specifically about knitting. And people would just like send an email to this list and just say like, this is what I'm knitting today, or ask a question about knitting, or talk about the new knitting magazine that had just been released. And your email would go to this like entire list of thousands of people who would read it every day like a newspaper. I used to love reading that. Seems so weird.
Yeah, and then now you just put it up so easily. So
I know. It's silly. I'm still part of one group that uses a listserv, and it feels so archaic. But but that's what we did. It was ahead of its time at the time. And then I think like there became a point when even on it's an email list, right? So then
Uh-huh.
there would be people that would do a reply, and they would include the entire digest. It would come, you
Oh no.
set it to digest mode, and then people would reply, and it would be the entire digest would be like attached in their email. So there would be all this like drama about, make sure you cut and paste when you don't include the whole email in your reply, and things like that, like the drama. That is where I learned about internet drama, was from the internet knit list. But I think even at a certain point, they realized that the listserv was obsolete, and they went over to Yahoo. I think it was
Uh-huh.
Yahoo groups or something like that. And then I think they might be on Ravelry, but I don't really know what happened to the internet knit list. Maybe everybody's on just on Facebook now. So I screwed something up somewhere, because I only have 2 stitches left, and I should have 3. And the whole world will know, because I'm doing this on live. But I should have 2 to skip there at the end, not just 1. So let me just check it all over. So I guess my old record stands. I remember the last time I did it, I started one on a live, and it came out perfect at the end. And I think I did more. I think I did 207 on that one. This one I only did 190. Well, it is what it is. Definitely not going back for 1 stitch.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, that took me an hour. So it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to try and get through row 3 on here. I don't want to keep you any later than you feel like.
Oh, you already know I ain't got nothing else to do.
Your husband's working again tonight?
Yeah, he's working again tonight, so just me and the baby. He's asleep. He's been knocked out.
If you were to go to Rhinebeck, like if you were to make a trip up there, um, I thought somewhere you skipped 4 before a cluster, but I have some trouble seeing. Um, I might have done that, Della. She's saying I skipped 4 before a cluster. Oh yeah, look, there it is. I skipped 3 right there. Wow, Della, you're good. Holy moly. Can you believe she caught that?
Yeah, I would.
Wow. Well, how far back is it? It's not that far. I can go back that far and fix that. That's only like 3 peaks back. But yeah, if you were to go to Rhinebeck, you could also make a trip, and it would be worth it to travel. Probably would be about 3 hours from Rhinebeck to get to Northampton. I know, right? She deserves like a mug for that. Della, please send me your address so I can send you a mug, because that was unbelievable. Um, I would I mean, it would be worth it to go to Webb's, because what Webb's is like, do you knit? You don't knit. Doesn't
No.
doesn't really matter if you do, because there's plenty of yarn up there, but it's mostly a knitting store. But it's like the biggest knitting, store you've ever been in your life, with everything, all the brands, all the yarns, all the everything, things you've never even seen or heard of, things you've only read about. Um, just the most beautiful, yarns that there are. And then in the back of the store, there's this door, and you go through the door, and there's like a warehouse, and with these shelves, and it's all the discontinued stuff, and also their house yarn, which is Valley. I think it's called Valley Fibers.
Uh huh.
which is their yarn that they make, I guess, in this, warehouse room, and just walking through there is like, oh man, you could spend a lot of time just walking up and down those aisles, let me tell you, and finding like some amazing deals on discontinued yarn. A lot of like Noro, a lot of higher end yarns, cashmere blends, and things that you would probably never ever consider buying at full price, but they're back there discontinued and they're highly discounted. And it's really, oh, it really is like yarn heaven. I bought so many beautiful things back there, and it's like, it's the stuff that's like too nice to use sometimes. I'm gonna start using that stuff because it's really, really nice yarn, really beautiful stuff.
Have you ever bought like Angora yarn before?
Yes, actually, I bought some Angora yarn up there at Webb's. I had bought enough of it for like 2 sweaters, and I don't think I ever did anything with it.
I would love to just touch it. And then this came from a humble buddy.
Have you ever seen the women spinning from the Angora rabbits?
Oh my gosh, yes, from on TikTok. Like, I just be so fascinated. I'm like, first of all, when I used to have a buddy in college, and that man did not stay still. So the fact that this buddy's just chilling while you were literally pulling a tear out. I mean, not pulling a tear out because it sheds that way, but still, it's just so cool. Like, how did they come up? How did they figure out that you could make yarn out of a bunny? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know who thought it up or figured it out, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yes, it's very
Oops.
Cool. My favorite is definitely alpaca, though. Like, straight up 100% alpaca. Oof. That's my favorite.
You like alpaca yarn?
Yes.
I think I have some alpaca fiber somewhere to spin. Years ago, when I first started going to these festivals and learning about this stuff, I just wanted to do everything. So it's like, if you're knitting, I want to knit the most difficult, hardest thing. That would be socks, And then it's like, if I'm knitting, I want to learn how to spin. And so I did. I learned how to spin, and I learned how to process fiber, and it's just a whole other hobby,
Yeah.
It's just a whole other thing. So I have a spinning wheel, I have all the tools, I have some raw fiber, and I just, at a certain point, I think I moved and it went into storage, and that was the end of that,
Oh no.
it's just not, I haven't taken the time to like give everything back out. It's like a whole thing. Like, if you were to decide, I'm not going to crochet today, I'm going to sew, and you have to get out your sewing machine, and you have to get out all the stuff and the table and it's like that.
Yeah.
It's a whole process. I have wool that needs to be washed. Now this is so satisfying because I'm at the end of the row and it's working out exactly perfectly. Thank you, Della. Della says, I have about 25 rows, including the straight edge, on my baby blanket, then I can do a border. Facebook user says, I have seen Angora rabbits being shorn. They string them out like on a rack. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that Angora rabbits were shorn. Does it hurt them? That sounds bad.
On a rack?
That's what they said.
Oh no.
I can't tell who it is because if they're commenting from Facebook, I have software that shows me the comments, but it doesn't show me who it's from because they're in a group and the group is private.
Yeah, the ones I've seen is like the bunny is literally sitting on their lap.
Yeah.
Just chilling. I haven't seen them on a rack before. I think that would probably horrify me.
They said, no, they looked pretty relaxed.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah, right. It was a small farm, okay. I didn't even know that Angora rabbits were shorn. I thought they were just plucked. I mean, I've seen sheep being shorn, and while it does look like it's like painful for them, um, I'm pretty sure they need to be shorn in order to
Not overheat.
yeah, not overheat, and their fur gets like really matted and can be really heavy for them. User 466986 says, "Hi everyone, new here. Hi user."
Hello.
Okay, since I wanted to ask you this, since you are a guest on my TikTok, do you still get all the stats and are you able to get gifts and followers and all that stuff?
I'm able to get gifts, but I don't get any stats because I'm on your, like, I'm co-hosting on your,
Yeah.
profile.
Okay.
Which is fine with me. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm just glad to be here.
Well, we should have flipped it. Do you want to? I can cancel the next two, and we can do them off of yours if you want to. Or if you want to do the next two, and then we'll do four more, and you can do them on your page.
No, because I don't get as much engagement as as you do.
Yeah.
So I like actually.
You like it
people.
this way? Okay. All right, and just remind me to say every once in a while that everyone should also follow you.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Did you get a bump? Did you get a bump on your YouTube from last week at all? Because there were.
I did. I got
good.
Maybe like five or six people.
Good.
Which was fun.
Somebody actually commented on the video asking for the tag so that they could follow you, and they said they were interested in Bible study and crochet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So go back and check my video and you can see who that was. We talked about that a little bit last time.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with the once I get this stupid webcam, I don't know if it's my laptop because I have just like this Chromebook which you could barely do anything on, right? So I can't go into the settings of the webcam. It's really dumb. So I might have to kidnap my husband's laptop to try to do anything more advanced than that. So I'm just trying to get everything set up first before I try to be more consistent in my live streams and uploads and stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm not seeing anything on whatever you're working off of now. To me, looks like a good picture. My thing keeps freezing, and I have to keep refreshing it though. But yeah, like it is really small. So just play around with it. You can get started with the equipment that you have. It's really okay. If you look back at my old videos, you can see they were definitely not done in a professional setup. I mean, I think I had this boom arm that I put on the coffee table,
Uh-huh.
and I arranged it so that I could sit on my sofa because I didn't have room for like a setup like what I have now. And I would sit on my sofa and I would have this little lap desk that I would work off of and this like little lavalier mic. And oh my gosh, I made so many mistakes. So many mistakes. So, we just make it work and keep going.
Oh, excuse me.
I was going to say, you're getting tired, Mama.
You know what's crazy? I had a nap before I got
I
here.
took a nap too.
Yeah, we were supposed to go out today. Like we were supposed to go to his uncle's house today, right after church. But we didn't find out that all of the cousins were going over at the last minute, and our car wasn't charged, so we had to go to the charging station. And by the time we were done charging, it was like too late. So we was all packed up, ready to go, and then we was like, "Oh, can't
Oh,
go."
wow. How long does it take to charge the car?
Well, for us, it probably would have been like 30 minutes,
Okay.
but I mean, yeah, because we don't. He lives all the way out in Fairfax, and when it's dark in the area that his uncle lives in, when it's dark, you can't see nothing. You got to put on your high beams, or something's gonna run out, and that's it for your car. So we were like, we got to come back home by what, like 5 o'clock before it starts getting dark, and it was already like almost 3. So it was like, let us stay home.
I hate that it gets dark so early. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. They're supposed to be doing away with daylight savings.
I hope
Did
they
you hear about that?
do. I hope they do because I've lived in other places like Hawaii that doesn't do it. And really, I mean, it's totally fine. You don't feel like you're waking up or going to bed, like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's pitch black out.
Yeah. Yeah, there was talks of getting it. I think it's been approved, but it hasn't been put in motion or something like that. I don't know. But I was
Well,
like, oh, because I would love for there to be more daylight.
yep. Well, we'll see. I feel like they've tried to get rid of it before. I don't know who it is that still wants it. Does anybody like it? Does is anybody happy about daylight savings? Anybody?
Yeah, I'm not too. I don't care for it. It just messes up the whole schedule.
Yep. And I take a hula class online with people in Hawaii every Saturday, and it's like they don't change their clocks.
Uh huh.
So when I go to hula class like right now, it's an hour earlier. The first year or the first week that there's hula and everybody's trying to pop in at the regular time, which is 5:30, and we've all been there for an hour. This is like my second or third year with this halal learning hula, and
Uh huh.
this is like the first time I didn't go late to hula. To hula, I didn't go at 5:30. I like remembered like, oh yeah, they don't change their clocks, so it's going to be
That's
4:30 until they change their clocks back, or until we change our clocks back. But they don't change. They're just
yeah.
like, we're still going to be here at 10:30 our time, no matter what. You all want to fool around with your clocks, go ahead, but
Yeah.
we're not doing that here in Hawaii.
That's cool. Hula.
Yeah, I
How'd you get it?
I was a dance major. I have a master's degree in dance that I got at the University of Hawaii, and
Oh wow.
my ex-husband was a naval officer and he was stationed there. And while he was there, I got my degree I had been wanting to get for a really long time, and was never able to do it because we were always moving around, and I was never anywhere I could really do it until we went to Hawaii. And they have a requirement that you have to do two forms of Asian Pacific dance as a dance major there. It was mostly ballet and modern what I did, but you're required to do two forms of Asian Pacific dance, and I chose hula. And I also did Okinawan dance, which was really different. Um,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, so I learned hula from this, a real hula teacher, which they call it kumu. And a couple years ago, uh, she started doing the classes online, and so I've been able to pop in for hula classes online, but it's not really the same as being in Halau for real.
Uh-huh.
Like this week, it's the 130th, I think, anniversary of the overthrow of the Hawaiian um, royalty. So they are, the hula dancers will go out and chant and things like that when there are like marches and protests and things of that nature. So like they're doing that this week. I'm obviously not participating because I'm not in Hawaii, but they do really cool things that I enjoy. Like they make all their own lei. So they go around and they harvest tea leaves from the plants, responsibly, and then they make like their skirts and their lei and things out of it, and that I really enjoy doing. It's a lot like crochet. In fact, a lot of their crochet that they do out there, they crochet lei that look like real, like flowers and things. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. But I just I go to the classes every week and I learn the dances, and I'm terrible at it now, but I really enjoyed doing it when I was a student at UH. That's how I got started. You learn a lot about the culture and the history and the people and what it's really like to live there, and not just like all the tourist um, stereotypes that people know about Hawaii. You get to learn about their real culture and the real history from the point of view of the people. Okay, I'm gonna do one more row, I think, and then I'm gonna be cooked. How far did you get?
uh, let's see. I did one, two, three, 4 rows. No, I take that back. Was it one, two, three, 4, 5 rows?
5 rows.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I really like the colors that you put together. And you said
I do
it's
too.
for your grandfather, right?
Yeah, my grandpapa, granddad. Yeah, I know he'll love this. And then everybody else is gonna be like, why is mine at?
Where's mine? When are you gonna make me one?
But yeah, like y'all gonna have to wait till y'all turn on Christmas, okay? Because I made my mom one this past Christmas, and my niece and nephew.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but those were like, just straight up granny squares. It wasn't anything crazy. Like what, like the infinite granny square. So that didn't take no time at all. But uh, I found this yarn that was, it's like a yarn bee yarn from Hobby Lobby called Antoinette. That's my mom's name. So I was like, oh, I'll use this yarn to make your blanket.
Oh wow.
She really likes her blanket. So
What color was the Antoinette yarn?
It's like a rainbow. I wonder if I still have it. I kept one ball. Uh, it's like
Let me make this
this.
big again so I can see it.
It's like a rainbow.
I see your headphones, but there we go. Okay. Ooh,
Yeah, it's really pretty.
that is pretty.
Antoinette. I'm like, look, Ma, it's you.
That's a pretty name. And does it suit her? I mean, it must.
Oh
You made
yeah,
a whole blanket with
she loves colors. Like,
it.
oh my goodness, she loves colors.
I'm getting a look at your blanket up close now that I have the screen big. It's looking good.
Yeah, it looks so good. Like, I really like it.
That looks nice. I love the green and gray together.
Yes.
Let me see. How much did I do? I did my chain. I did row 1. I'm on row 4. And then I'm going to be done after this. I'm going to have a color change at the end of the row. And that's just too much for me to think about right now.
Are you gonna do the same colors?
Yeah, I'm going to keep the colors consistent with the pattern because this is going to be a sample. And I have, I don't know if I told you this the other day on the meeting about the business class, but I did have someone reach out to me about a book. So,
Ooh.
yeah, I got to make another man blanket so that I have a sample to photograph for a book, and hopefully this will be
yeah, I think you did tell me. Because
Did
I was
I?
like, I want mine to be signed.
Yep. I'm going to do a tour someday. I'm going to travel around and meet all the people that make my blankets and sign their books for them and all that stuff.
Yes. That is so cool.
The 6-day kid blanket bus.
And then you have like a big giant picture on the side of your car.
Yeah, it's going to be decorated with the 6-day kid blanket crochet on the side. Betty McKnit 6-day kid blanket bus. And I'm going to go all over the country in that bus and meet all the people making the blankets. This is going to be a good time.
Yeah, that is so cool.
That's my plan. So if you want to be a stop on the Betty McKnit tour, y'all let me know. Come raid your hometown.
Yes. That'd be so cool. Like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
nobody. Me.
Nobody.
Weirdos.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I have one more question before I go. Do you watch Sister Wives?
No. Should I watch it?
Oh my gosh. I don't watch the show. I just watch what other people say about it because it's just a mess.
People are going on the drama.
It's like all over TikTok. And I haven't watched Sister Wives since I had cable back when I lived with my mom. So,
wow.
Like, so much has happened. So now on the internet, everybody like reviews episodes and stuff. So that's why I've been watching. And it is just a mess. It's like so crazy. Like, sometimes I forget that these are real people and this is their actual life.
You know what? Come to think of it, it was a couple weeks ago, and what was I doing? Oh, after I visited my mom, I went to Newburgh because I used to live in, I just moved from there, and I still have a storage unit up there. So rather than coming straight home, I dropped my daughter off in Baltimore, and then I went north to Newburgh to get some stuff out of my storage before I headed home. And I ended up in a hotel and that was on. Sister Wives was on.
Oh.
So I guess I did catch a little bit of it, and it was like one of the wives is leaving, and the other one is somebody had like a camper that they were moving onto somebody else's land or something like
Yeah.
that. That's what I caught. So
Oh
so
my
catch
gosh,
me
it is
up.
a mess, man.
What's the drama? It did seem like a hot mess. Like,
Yeah, okay, so they've been married for like I feel like 20 years now, right? All four all well, the three wives and then the one that just came, they've been married for like 10 years, I think. So now one of them is all three of the other wives have officially left Cody, which is the husband. And now he's left with his the newest wife, right? That doesn't surprise me. What surprised me is all of the dirt and drama that is coming out about the first wife, which is Mary, right? There's accusations of her like I'm trying to say this so we because we're messing with the kids, right? Doing things that she's not supposed to be doing. And
whoa.
yeah, so everybody's like, what? And then she was also catfished. Like when she was married, she like kind of stepped out and
Oh my gosh.
she
I
was catfished. That came out like a long time ago, but now the person like is gonna make a book about it. It's really weird, or has made a book about it, and people are revisiting the fact that she got catfished. And it's so cringy. Like I feel like anybody who cheats, it's just so cringy. Like, ugh. And then they get caught, and then there's like proof of it. It's like, ugh.
wow.
So it's just so much like behind it. Like the other wives are suing Cody for spousal support, but they were never legally married, so we don't know how that's gonna work out. It's just a lot, and it's just
Wow.
so crazy to think that this is people's actual lives. Cause my life is pretty boring. Ever since I graduated college, my life has been boring. Even when I was in college, it was boring.
Just
So
the way I like it. Just the way I like
yeah,
it. I don't need that
I
kind.
even
Who
well,
needs
my
that kind of
feelings not
drama?
getting hurt. You know, this is the life for me. So
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to go watch that. I just turned on cuz I do like to have a good mindless reality nothing going on in the
yeah,
background sometimes when I crochet cuz I don't really pay that close of attention, and I noticed sometimes I miss, like, I'll have a movie on and the whole thing will go, next thing I know the credits are rolling and I'm like, I have
yeah.
no idea what happened in that movie, like, honestly. Even like my sister came to visit me for Thanksgiving, and she was like, "Oh, let's watch that Spirited movie with Will Ferrell," and I was like, "I already watched it. It was bad." And then she put it on, and I watched it, and I was like, "Wait, this is actually really good. Like,
This is the
there's a
same.
lot of dancing in this. I love this. What was I thinking?" Like, I didn't watch it at all, but yeah, I'll definitely turn that on. Have you ever seen that HBO series Big Love? Big,
No.
yeah. If you like the Sister Wives drama, you should watch that show. It's about a polygamous family, and it was a really good show. It was really good, really addictive.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch that.
Really good show.
I love trashy TV. It's just, ugh. It's like,
Yes,
just makes everything so much more exciting. As long as it's not happening to me, I'm good.
that's true. That's true. All right. Well, I just changed colors and I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to let you get going because it's late and I heard you yawn, and so, and I'm going to set this aside, and I don't know, are you going to work on yours
Um, I think I might put it aside.
till
I'm
next
gonna try.
time?
Yeah, until next time, cause
Okay.
I still have a whole sweater I'm supposed to be finishing.
Okay. That sounds good. I don't think I might work on it a little bit. I don't think so though. I have like a lot of other things that need to be worked on. Um, let's see. Yes, Andrew, I will come to your town. I don't know where that is, but also since you're here, I don't know if you're interested in the business course, but that's going to be starting on what did I say? February 2nd, first Thursday in February. So I'm going to be posting the details for that and sending anybody that is on my email list for information about that. I'm going to be sending you the link to sign up. And also, I set up an affiliate link for you all too. So if you would like to share that with your friends and post an affiliate link for it, it's I think it's like a 20% payoff, so it ends up being like $35. So I'll get that posted for you all, and if you want to share the link, you can be an affiliate and share the affiliate link. What else? Della says, Betty, how do you want me to send your address? Email it to me. BettyMcKnit@gmail.com. Send me an email and I'll send you a mug. I'll send you a Man Blanket mug, just like Alea's.
Yes, they're really nice.
A big one. I
take it for my husband every morning.
Yeah, what else? Oh, if you're on TikTok and you want to get on the mailing list for that business class, then you can go to where it says apply here, apply now, or something like that, and just click on that and complete that, and then I'll put your email in my and if you're elsewhere, you're not on TikTok and you would like to be on that email list, just shoot me an email, bettymcknit@gmail.com, and I'll make sure you get on the email list. We're going to be starting soon, and I don't know, I think this is the only time I'm going to do the business class because
it's a lot of information.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot of good information. I think it would definitely help a lot of people who are trying to, even if you're not doing crochet, just like other stuff too.
Yeah, like my
friend who does like hair content. I was like, there's so much good information, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can, if you have something that you're doing that can be, put on a website and monetized, or put in a PDF and sold, or monetized through content like on YouTube, then I think I could help them. And just having the wisdom of the group, I think if we get a nice little group together, that it won't just be my knowledge, but also the energy of the people that are in the group, and problem solving together and holding each other accountable and encouraging each other. I think that's going to be the real, the real juice. But yeah, the meat and potatoes of how to do it. And I actually, after we had our meeting, I thought a lot about the questions that you had asked and the information that you had. I just watched the whole video again today and kind of gleaned off of that, like, okay, what is it that people need? And I think what I got from you and even from my sister was that you need a place to start.
Yeah.
And just get it started and get it going. So I'm gonna bring this down. Oh yeah. Since we're getting off pretty soon, but ooh. All right. Oh, there you are. All right, I'm getting a notification on YouTube. All right, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next week, and just holler at me in the meantime if anything comes up. And we'll pick a Friday to get together.
Yep.
Where your mom, was it your mom that does the bingo?
My mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law. Okay.
Yep.
She can watch the baby and we can do our thing.
Yes. Alrighty.
It's been a pleasure. Have a good one. Mwah. Bye everyone. Thanks for coming.